Hello my friends and welcome to my channel. I am Straw Hat Badass. I am going to be starting, this is the first in the many videos to come of my weekly One Piece chapter discussions. I was going to originally call them reviews, but as I went on I realized that they're more of discussions instead of reviews. So I actually want to briefly discuss chapter 773, which was titled Half and Half. And that was last week's chapter. It was the first chapter of the new year. And in that chapter, we see a lot of Robin being a really, really huge badass, which is awesome. I was so just enthralled in everything Robin last chapter. And if you weren't the least bit turned on by Robin last chapter, then I just don't know what to tell you. We saw Robin get up to the flower field, and now she's with Rebecca and Krios and Diamante, and they're about to probably start, their battle. That's mainly what happened last chapter. Also, Bartolomeo defeated Gladius, which I thought was really interesting. I did not expect Bartolomeo to be taking down one of, the major executives. Not that it's bad that he was the one that did, but I just didn't expect him to have such a major battle as just being a character that was, recently introduced. But, I mean, we also see Sai taking down Lao Ji, so I guess it shouldn't have come as that much of a surprise. But still, I don't know, I just wasn't really expecting him to have his own, big battle. Going on to this week's One Piece chapter, which was chapter 774, it was entitled Leo, the Tontada Troop Leader. This chapter, I mean, obviously, I, along with, I'm sure many other people, were hoping to get back to Law and Luffy and what was going on with them in their battle with Doflamingo. And I was hoping to see that and see what happened to Law's arm, because I know that that is a big deal in what's going on right now, and I really hope that his arm is okay. I don't know how to feel. Poor Law. Anyway, getting off of the subject that makes me want to cry. Getting back on track to what actually happened in the chapter this week. We see Leo and Viola a lot this chapter. It starts off actually sort of wrapping up last week's chapter, and we see Robin, and we see Bartolomeo, and we see Krios and Rebecca and Diamante, and they're about to start their little thing, which I think I stated earlier. We see Bartolomeo, and he had just defeated Gladius, and we see some of Doflamingo's little underlings coming and taking Gladius's body. Now, I don't think a lot of people, I don't know if you guys really caught on to that and how strange it was. They were just taking his body. Why wouldn't they just leave it there? Why are they coming and picking up their executives' bodies? They're unconscious. What are they going to do with it? This question was answered later in the chapter, and I thought it was a really interesting way of sort of foreshadowing what was going to happen. We don't know, but he sort of gave us a little bit of, they're going to do something with his body, and we don't know what it is yet. So after that, we see Viola talking to Leo, telling him to hurry the hell up, that Princess Manchuri, which is, I'm guessing how her name's pronounced. I'm really bad at pronunciation, by the way. You guys can scold me in the comments. It's okay. I'm really bad with pronunciation. We see that Viola basically yelling at Leo, telling him to hurry the fuck up to get to Princess Manchuri and save her. And then next we see Jorah and Princess Manchuri, and she's yelling at her and berating her and just being really, mean. Then we see Leo. It's going back and forth between Viola and Leo and Manchuri and Jorah and what's going on there. And we find out something really, really interesting that I was actually fairly surprised about, because I didn't think that this would, obviously Oda just surprises everyone with what he does, and I just genuinely wasn't expecting there to be a fruit that could heal people. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Why that wasn't a thought that occurred to me, that there would be a fruit that could heal someone, or that could heal multiple people, but it just wasn't a thought that I had before. And obviously it's a fruit, which is really cool. And I think it's so cute that Princess Manchuri, this cute little dwarf, this cute little tontada, who's this big, has this fruit that's so powerful. And obviously it's gotten her into kind of a mess, because she's been trapped in Doflamingo's castle. And obviously they're probably using her and her abilities in order to help themselves. And she went on with it because she believed her people were in danger. So we see that, and we find that out. and we see the line of executives lying over, like, next to them. And I mean, I don't know about you, but at that part in the chapter, I was kind of like, oh my god, no. No. This can't happen. They just defeated all those executives. What's going to happen if they get healed? Like, that would have been detrimental to the battle. And I have no doubt that if that happened, if they were healed, the Straw Hats and everyone else, they would probably lose, because they're all of the other people who have throughout this chapter been fighting and battling and trying to win and get this country to be free again. They are all fairly injured, just like Jorah stated. So that, I started freaking out at that point. And we see Leo, and he's hurrying, and he's trying to rush and get there. And I'm just like, come on, you Tontada bastard, hurry up, please. I didn't mean to call him a bastard, I'm sorry. Anyway, oh god, it was really stressful reading it. My roommate was walking out of the room at that point, because I was downstairs in my living room. And my roommate, she was like, you have fun with your One Piece, I'm gonna head out. And I was like, okay, whatever, go away. So I was really worried. Not that I was gonna cry. I am really overly emotional, though. Anyway, and we see them, and it's getting really tense, and Jorah starts, like, beating Princess Mantry because she finds out that her tears can heal, and that's terrifying. Like, she starts abusing this poor little dwarf to get her to cry, so that way she can heal her. I mean, I don't even know if they're necessarily friends, her, like, family, the Doflamingo family members. I don't know if they consider each other friends, or if they're just part of the same pirate crew. I guess they probably are friends, but I'm sure there's, like, quarreling and squabbles. Thankfully, there was that, I don't remember his name, and that's really bad of me, the little dung beetle, Tontada, not dung beetle, I don't know what kind of beetle he is, he's based off of a beetle, the little beetle Tontada. He goes in and, like, basically just, like, spears all of the executives and, like, pushes them to the other side of the room right as Jorah had just gotten a bunch of tears out of Princess Mantry, and then the tears hit the ground instead of the executives. And I don't know about you, but I was so relieved. It was like this flood of relief washing over my body. That was pretty much the end of the chapter, seeing Princess Mantry being saved by Leo and the other Tontadas, and that was it was a satisfying end to the chapter. Even though I wish, I'm looking at the chapter on my computer screen right now, just in case you were wondering. I wish that we could have seen more. It was a relatively short chapter for One Piece. It was only like 14 pages, I believe, which is really short, but I mean, we can't expect the world, and I know that Oda is doing his best to give us quality content, and that's what I really care about, and that's what all you guys should care about, is that he's doing his best to give us as much as he can, without it being too much. Because, I mean, there obviously, I guess there could be too much. But, yeah. So that was the end of the chapter this week. And, I mean, as much as I did like the chapter, it was definitely a good chapter. Had really important things happening. I mean, with the discovery of the healing fruit, that was really important, and definitely something that needs to be kept in mind, because my first thought when I saw the healing fruit was Law's arm. Like, that they're gonna heal Law's arm, right? Like, that's gotta happen. Like, I mean, they can reattach it, and then they can heal his arm. So there's the possibility of that, and the possibility of this Princess Mantry being able to heal everyone who's wounded on the Straw Hats side, because I don't remember exactly. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are fighting for the Straw Hats that have been wounded. I know Bartholomew is pretty beat up because of the attack that happened from Gladius, and obviously Usopp is probably still feeling the resonating impact of his injuries. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to stop here and just tell you guys how proud I am of Usopp. Like, there are no words for how proud that boy has made me in these last few chapters. Like, in the last, like, several chapters of One Piece, he has grown so much, and it's such a beautiful thing to see. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you guys how proud we all should be of him, because his character has grown so much, and it's just such a beautiful thing to see. That's pretty much all I have to say about this chapter. It was really interesting. Stuff happened, but not a lot happened, and I really wish I could have picked a better chapter to start my reviews on, but I wanted to start it now just to get into the rhythm of it and get you guys used to it, because I really hope you will like my reviews. That's really all I have to say. If you liked the video, you can subscribe. I'm not asking you to. Get if you want to. You can subscribe, and you can like it, and you can share it, which would be awesome. I'm going to be posting this to my Tumblr, and I don't know if I'll post it to my Facebook, but we'll see. And yeah, I will see you next week, my friends. Goodbye.